standard construction model, we would basically what we call stick build. We would bring up every piece of pipe, every piece of conduit, every piece of insulation, one by one, walk it up a ladder, hang it from the ceiling, and move on.
Well, you know, I'd worked at another hospital, Children's Medical Center, and, you know, we were working inside, but, you know, you had to get up, you had to climb up on the ladder, being cold, windy, running a hammer drill up into the deck, setting an anchor, you know, as opposed to this, where it was a controlled environment, you know, not having to get the hammer drill out, not having to get concrete dust in your face, up on top of a ladder.
It was easier to track the circuits and the conduits. Everything was able to be labeled so that when it's up in the air, all we have to do in the field is look up and say, oh yeah, I know what wires go in that conduit.
This gave us really an opportunity to get way ahead and kind of reduce our manpower on the job. We were able to go ahead, start rough ends probably 6 months ahead of schedule before we normally would have.
A lot of the guys were pretty excited about it because they know they're being productive. And they don't have to work as hard to be as productive, and they're being part of something that's fairly new to the industry, this prefab.
This project is different in the respect that we are employing prefabrication of above ceiling mechanical systems, bathroom pods, and patient head wall systems. And to our knowledge, this is the first time this has been used in the United States on a hospital project.
We are at the Miami Valley Prefabrication Warehouse. One of the aspects of prefabrication are these racks.
It's going to contain all the services that go in the hospital: plumbing, med gas, electrical, ductwork, insulate. Everything will be insulated, labeled, and valve tagged. Sheetrock will be on it.
So what you have is you have the top of the deck right here, and then the ceiling will be below these racks when they're installed.
On a typical construction project, you'll wait till this floor is built, you'll get the walls on the building, you'll get the roof on, and then you'll start with the work inside, which typically starts in the corridors, and electrician, plumber, everyone's walking up a ladder, putting their specific construction material in one piece at a time. Very long and tedious process. It's the way we've been doing it for a long time, and we're trying to change that process. We're able to do a lot of labor-intensive work right here in this warehouse, wrap it all up basically in a package, take it out to the job site, wheel it into place, and shoot it down.
In our trade, you know, we should be able to do about 200 foot to 250 foot of pipe of 3/4 inch conduit a day. That's what we would be expected to run. And at the warehouse, there were some days I was getting 650 foot of pipe. So, you know, you take that, and each corridor would have about 4,000 foot of pipe, which would take maybe 2 weeks for a guy to do, and it was taking me probably 3 days.
You don't have any issues with wind, water, ice, any of those factors that come into play.
On a job this size, they'll spend an hour and a half to 2 hours a day of non-productive time looking for stuff. And it's not that they're not doing their job, but they have to go find things. By doing this work in the warehouse, we cut that down to 15, 20 minutes a day that those guys spent looking for stuff. So there's a real time savings there of the tradesmen of just having to find stuff.
We don't have the problem of getting material up on the floors like we would a normal job. So for us, that has really been a big help.
What I see is it promotes a better quality job, a safer job. It promotes actually something that's really strong now, and everyone's being touched by it. It promotes a greener job. It cuts down on construction waste management. By being in that warehouse, those guys capture that cut-off material, those raw pieces, and we're now using that out here on the job.
This is a very clean job. You don't see the scrap that's manufactured every day, you know.
It's set up to where it's clean. There's not, material's not stacked up everywhere.
Every job we always have scrap conduits where we have people cleaning up. That's really non-existent on this project because it was in a controlled environment.
Some of it we sent back to our prefab shop, and they're using on other jobs where it would have ended up in a dumpster. It improved indoor air quality by having this product installed in a clean environment, shipped to the job, capped off, and kept capped off. So it promotes a greener job all around, I think. I see this process, the availability for this for every type of building.
I can see it being used on hotels, you know, any kind of office high-rise.
I think that this process has went so smooth, and I think it's went smoother than we ever expected. When we first talked about this process, everybody was kind of skeptical.
This is a cutting-edge, innovative procedure that needs to be employed throughout the healthcare industry as we move on.
Now, from another perspective, if for the owner, this is perfect for maintenance issues. They have a layout and they have a design of every floor and every conduit, every pipe that is in here. And it's so clean and neat above that ceiling. So it is absolutely perfect for us and the owner.
It's gone way beyond what my expectations are. And, you know, I'm a huge advocate of prefab, always have been. But if people were resistant to this, it's just because they don't know. They haven't seen it. And they don't see the golden opportunities that are here, and they need to buy into it. But it does take a proactive approach on the construction manager, the designers, the engineers, and the contractors, and everyone work together with that common vision to accomplish what we want. And everyone will win. It is a win-win.
You know, if you were to add anything, I would say a radio to a warehouse.